Dive a little bit deeper into the beat building process instead of just the sampling with vinyl or YouTube or any kind of sample, chopping it up and making a beat. No, we're gonna get a little bit deeper into this, a little bit more of the thought process that we do as beat builders, that those little things that kind of get lost in the process, or maybe something that's brand new that you have never even thought of before. And this episode is actually a lost Chameleon Theory that I thought that I had lost a lot of the files for, but I actually found them. So I actually Frankensteined this whole Chameleon Theory together. This is a process that I did using cassettes to make my own modulation effects. And I really had a great time learning some different things when it came to creating my own modulation effect by using several cassette players. So I hope you appreciate the entire process that we typically forget about when we're creating these beats and everything. So this track actually ended up being on my LP, the concept album, Furcifer Oneirology of Children. So I hope you enjoy the episode. I think the track came out great, and I'm very happy after all the time that I had spent on this track, the way that it did come out. And these are things that I think a lot of beat builders do as well, but the people out in the public don't really get to see these deeper type of processes as to what we do to make sounds a little bit more interesting to ourselves. Without further ado, we'll start off the episode. If you like the episode, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. So here we go. The first part of the song, I think I want something pretty mellow, and it's going to turn out to be a lot heavier, and it'll sound like it's faster, but it's really not. It's just a lot more steps within those beats to make it sound harder and faster. But at the beginning, I want it to be very mellow in this track, okay? So I've came up with this acoustic part. At the end, it starts to progress, and it gets a lot harder. This is the beginning track. Now, what I'll do is I will sample it only because I want these harmonics to sound out a lot more. This is the beginning of the track that I had in my mind, okay? And this is probably going to be sampled again. So that's what I'm going to have at the beginning, and then I'll have, you know, a little mellow beat going on. Then from there, it will go into A minor to F. I'm sampling into the akai now. I have a track that I've actually already built, and it's not necessarily a track, it's just a sequence, okay? So I have a loop that I got playing around, and I'm going to build off of that, right? I need to think of a beginning before this sequence, and whatever else I'm going to incorporate to finish up the track after this sequence, okay? But I want the sequence to be right before I do anything else, because I'm still stuck in the same loop. So the beat itself, I'm satisfied with. It's the sounds that I need, or I feel like I need to change up, okay? And I'm not talking about resampling something else. So the sounds that we're going to listen to is everything that I've done so far on this loop, and the sounds that you're going to hear is me, okay? So I have tracked on here my Prophet 8 that I had sampled into the akai, and I also have an acoustic guitar that I played. So I'm going to play these two separate tracks. You're going to hear these two different sounds coming together as it goes along. So the first one I want to show you is this this Prophet 8. So here we go. We're going to play this loop right now, and this is the Prophet 8. Now the second part you're going to hear come in is my acoustic guitar sample. like the way this sounds. Here's the bass. What I don't like, the way the acoustic guitar track is coming through, and also the synth. So I like the beat, I like everything, I like the music, everything. But it's just, to me, the guitar just sounds too good, like too clear, crisp, right? That's not really the feel I'm going for. So this is what I thought we could do. We're going to re-record this sequence of just the synths and also my acoustic guitar. So that's what we're going to play over again, but I want to have just a different type of feel. Again, I want it to sound a little bit more destroyed, okay? So what I mean is like something's damaged to it. That's the way I hear this in my mind as far as these guitars are just too crispy and clean, right? So the way I recorded this acoustic guitar was through this AKG 414, which is also known to be a pretty bright microphone to begin with anyway. So it's just really, really clean. It cuts through like a knife. I mean, it sounds fantastic, right? So I want to mess it up though. I want to screw it up. What we're going to incorporate is we're going to run this Akai into a couple of my personal cassette players. And hopefully I can time all these at the same time to where I can get them to play at the same time. I'm aiming for more of just a real destroyed type of sound. Every single cassette player is going to have a different speed, a slight variation in its speed of playback. So my thinking is that if I'm right, it may kind of warble a little bit and create sort of an effect or flange, like a chorus or a flange effect, while this is playing back and I can resample it. So hopefully it comes out dope like I think in my mind. But this is all part of the experiment, man. And this is what I love about recording and tracking and making beats, or just music in general, is that you have to allow yourself to experiment and fail. There's an endless possibility of things that you can do aside from just assigning that sound into this SX and add the vinyl sim. That'd be the very, very easy fix to do. It would take me 1/8 of the time that's going to take me to record these tapes, but I don't feel like I would feel as rewarded if I put the work into thinking ahead. Like, man, I think that would sound good. Other than just trying to do the easy way out, you know what I mean? So let's see if this can be a success or not. But either way, I appreciate every single person that has watched all my videos in the past, love or hate. I really do appreciate it, and this is all an experiment, man. Now the first one that I'm going to use, of course, I'm going to use the sexiest one that I got, right, for right now, because as far as I'm going to use the sexiest one that I have right now, only because it just looks so cool. So what I'm using just a standard cassette. I don't know where I got these, man. I think I've had these for years, just, you know, sitting in a closet for years. So the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the RCA in, that's on my SP, into this realistic cassette player. Now, it's not that it's a fantastic recorder, it's actually pretty bad. It's just old, you know what I'm saying? And it feels like it wants to die any day. So the more I use it, the more it fusses, and the more I love it because it gives me some shitty, interesting sounds. So yeah, I'm gonna keep using it, man. So we're gonna record this, and then I'm gonna feed this over into the outputs. I might even distort these a little. We'll see how these how the meters run and see how this goes. You know what I'm saying? Alright, the first ones I'm going to record is this synth, but I'm not going to record it the first time around with the frequency at 60. I'm actually going to record these at its original frequency, and then I can always back it down later if I wanted to. Alright, so here we go. Now sometimes this one makes it sound like it's like burning up or some shit. And that's what I'm hoping to capture when I'm recording this thing. Now, if I recall correctly, I got to hold down the record button and the play button and not let go for a long time for me to be able to record. Now we're gonna go back, play this back, so we're gonna feed this back into the MPC in a minute. I think I should go ahead and let it just run through a couple times, and then we'll go and run through the guitar a couple times. That was one. Alright, so we're gonna stop there, and then I'm gonna keep recording the guitar loop now. Now what's wonderful about cassette is that when you distort a cassette, it just sounds different. Analog distortion is way different than digital distortion. When you digitally distort something, it sounds horrible. And then with analog, you can get a pretty attractive sound. You just gotta listen back and trial and error, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so let's stop that. We're gonna rewind this bad boy. We're going to feed the outputs into the sample in akai. I guess we'll just go ahead and run a, yeah, I'll take a different RCA cable, run these, leave this sucker here so I can have easy accessibility. I'll run it into a separate mixer that I have over here. It's a Yamaha MG10. And it's just a small mixer that I have mainly to feed everything that I'm sampling into my MPC or SP. It's going into this little small board. That way I have access to be able to EQ something if I needed to before I sample it. Since I really try and refrain from using DAW as much as possible, especially for tracking or just making a track period, I mainly use the DAW just for like I would a tape machine. You know what I mean? Just I record 2 tracks on there and then maybe add, you know, just some mastering techniques to finish up my tracks and everything. That's about it. But for the most part, this is my DAW. You know what I mean? This right here is my tracking machine. So is this one right here. And I just feed everything and play something in real time. Now, I am not some fucking prodigy who can play, you know, play a whole beat in real time and play some keyboards like a madman or some shit, just freaking out on a keyboard. I've learned how to do this myself in real time and dump it onto the DAW and just in 2 tracks. So back to this. So what I'm going to do, we're going to feed this into the MG10, which is a small little Yamaha mixer I bought real cheap, like $30 at a pawn shop. And that's going to go into this akai. So we can listen to it first. I'm really curious to hear what this cassette sounds like. We'll see how we can mesh all these together and just get just a very different type of sound than what we're hearing originally. All right, so bear with me. Let's see how this worked out. Alright, so now I got everything fed in to this MG10 Yamaha little mixer, and that's being fed into the inputs of my MPC 2000 XL. We are in sample mode now. We're going to first listen to this in stereo. There might be a difference in the volumes on each side, simply because this little baby right here is just sad and tired and wants to retire, but I don't ever let it. Oh, hell yeah. Right channel, they ain't even shit. It's just hiss. You hear that? Now the left channel, that's where all the noise is. That's where all the audio is. I like it. Now the acoustic guitar, nothing much different, right? Now remember though, we have this going on through the cassette, and we got a few other cassette players we're going to play at the same time. And I really believe, damn it, that I'm gonna be able to come up with a pretty dope, different kind of sound. I'm really curious for this. Yeah, boy. All right, so let's continue on. I'm gonna move on to the next audio player and sample these again. All right. Now the way I have this routed is I have the original sound source, which is of right now is the MPC 2000. I'm running a line out into the SP. Okay, so that way I could, like, I'm gonna sample from there, right? Then I have my headphones out into the board, and I have the line out from an RCA to an 1/8 inch to go into this recorder. Let's see if this plays correctly. Now I want to change this external source from stereo. That's stereo, and I want to change that to mono. So that way I don't have the bounce back. That sounds dope, but I don't think that this mic input is stereo, so we're gonna have to go mono. We'll have to think of different ways to get this to bounce back and forth if I wanted that, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and try and record this right quick, and we'll see how this sounds. I'm very curious. I really want to play this back and hear it just over this loudspeaker. So let's see what that sounded like, man. Now we're not going to know for certain what that sounds like until we run this line out into the board again, okay? But shit, I might want to run it just like this for a different effect. We're going to record the guitar track now. Let me go find some batteries for these bad boys right here, and then we'll continue the process. Motherfucker. Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna have to hold this one because these batteries are gonna fall the fuck out. So let me hit record, and what I'm doing is I'm at least waiting for this black, the actual tape, to come over the reel. There it goes. Alright, that one's done. The real test is this one. I'm really afraid that this one is just not going to play. Yeah, it's not turning at all. Shit ain't turning nothing. Yeah, I got it all right. Damn. Well, too bad. We're just gonna have to use 3 of them. Moment of truth here. Hear that modulation? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh yeah. This little RCA boy, tell you what, that one sounded clean, like nice and thick and full. But this one here just sounded all jacked up, which I love. I'm gonna roll the high end off all the way on this cassette. Roll it up. That's all the high end. Roll it all the way down. All the mids are gone. Mids up, little bit of high. Now I can control it better and it don't sound so fucked up. Let's listen to this guitar track though. Definitely got plenty of distortion to it. But analog distortion, man, you just can't beat it, you know what I'm saying? Let them start at the same time and allow the natural modulation happen. So yeah, I'm gonna record all three of these separately now. All right, time for the moment of truth. Now we're gonna assign these sounds to actual pads. All right, that pretty much came out what I hoped it to be. So that's good. That's really good. Here's the original. And 3 cassettes going at the same time. Sounds huge. I don't know what's gonna sound like in my beat though. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Deep breath. Yeah, boy. All right, so now the biggest thing though that I wanted was the guitars, right? I think the guitars needed to be more dirtied up, more so than this this part. Yeah, man, that sounds dope. All right, so now I have all of the sounds that I wanted to record into the MPC. So let's listen to what I have done. So there is all 3 of the tape recorded guitar parts on this one pad. Now I did separate the main one that I'm going to have up the middle, and then I have these 2 panned left and right slightly, okay, for a stereo effect once that chorus takes an effect. So here's the main one, which is that big muff sound that I like out of the Radio Shack. That's the main one, right? Now here's what they sound like all together. It's fucking natural tape chorus. Because they're all slightly delayed and they're all playing in a different speed, right? So that's what I really like about this. All right, let's try it again. We're gonna build the rest of this song after a while, but yeah, I think this came out pretty good, man. I'm feeling this beat. I know it's a lot faster or different. You know what I'm saying?
not using quite the ordinary sense of the word meaning. Something other than themselves.